Hi wig wearers, today I'm colouring a wig. I have two bowls ready, bleach and 6% and Olaplex number 1 in one bowl and Wonderbar number 3 and 3% in the other bowl. My foils have already been cut. I've split the wig into 5 sections to make it easier. So I'm ready to go. My client wants dark roots and blonde ends. At the moment it is looking quite brassy, as you can see. Wigs have a lot of hair. I'll be using 2 tubes of tint today. When I'm doing a job like this, I always fold the corners going down in a down direction so that the ends don't get in the way and stick up. As I'm foiling up the head, you can see that I'm having to use 3 in a row of foils. So what I do is I do the middle one first, then the left, then the right, middle, then left, then right, and that's how I go up the head, rather than doing a row in the middle all the way up to the crown and then starting from the bottom on the left all the way up to the crown and then all the way from the bottom on the right up to the crown, which is what I would usually do on a head of hair rather than a wig. As you can see here, I'm now using pink foils because I ran out of regular foils and I didn't want to stop the video. I didn't want to stop recording, and so I just grabbed some that I'd already cut, and so there you are, my strawberry foils. I really like these foils actually. They are from Framar and you have to cut them to size, but I really like them. I really love the texture of them because they're slightly thicker than the other foils that I was using before, which are foils that I always do use. But I found these Framar foils really useful for close work when you want to do foils all the way up to the scalp as close as you can. They don't slip. They're amazing and they fold really nicely. I think they're. Now that the highlights are in, I will now apply the tint. Notice how I am applying from the nape upwards. I've tried the other way, but it makes too much mess. For wigs, I do it this way. I always wipe my hands after every section because otherwise I don't want to get into another mess, because I am a very messy worker and I love to keep clean. So I put this back to real time just for the end part. You can see that I'm wiping after every section and I'm rubbing the colour into the hair, into the roots, so that it all gets covered, because I don't want any coppery, brassy bits left. So now the colour's finished, I'm going to leave that on for 10 minutes and I'm going to wash it off and bring it back to the chair, and then I'm going to start on the front and the sides. As this is a processed wig, I'm only going to leave it on for 10 minutes because otherwise it gets very much overdeveloped and it'll probably end up black. It's happened before. So I don't want to overdevelop it. Virgin hair can be left on for the right amount of time, 35 minutes for these colours, these Wonderbar colours, but not for processed wigs. I've learnt that from big mistakes a long time ago. Okay, now that I've washed the back off, I am now going to start on the sides and the front. I always get comments on this wig stand that I use. I've got 3 of them. They're on my shelf along with all the wigs that I sell, and they look very odd, but I really need something that I don't worry about ruining. So they're in a bit of a mess actually, but I really appreciate having just like 2 or 3 coloured ones that I don't have to worry about. So at the front I'm going to do a money piece because she likes it nice and bright at the front, and so I'm going to weave smaller spaces between the weaves and smaller sections. It's normally around this time where I start getting really tired. I'd been doing this for now about 6 hours so far. It actually took me 9 hours to do this colour because after I finished recording and dried it off overnight, it wasn't blonde enough, so I did the whole thing again. Well, not exactly, but I did a lot of the ends again and made it nice and bright, and I was really happy afterwards. But yes, that's the ideal thing about wigs. The great thing about wigs is that you can just come back for a second time and redo it. Obviously, if I had a client in the chair, she wouldn't be best happy to be able to have to come back and redo the whole thing, really. So I love doing wigs. I don't do this service on hair because it's just too hard. By the end of this, I was exhausted. I had to have a day off and just rest and exercise my back. So now I've nearly finished. I'm going to leave it all on for 10 minutes again, like I did with the back, and then I'm going to wash it off. And unfortunately I didn't film the result because, like I said, I wasn't happy with it, so I redid it. But I took some amazing photos of it afterwards, when it had been cut and blow dried. So it really looks lovely, and I hope you had fun watching this video, and please like and subscribe and share with your friends, and we'll see you next time.